We are on the air there. I couldn't find my mic. Good morning. You're in the cheap seats, broadcasting live from Jake's Furnishings, located on Woodlawn Avenue. I'm Scott Kirby, along with Joe Ryan. On this cloudy Saturday morning, we got Coach Neil Alexander in with us. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Good morning, Coach.
We've had a couple of games since last time you were on with us, and I don't know how to ask this, but I mean, the kids, they played hard last night, but it just doesn't seem like they got to learn how to finish a game, I guess, and just not let the team hang around.
Well, those are teams, that the game gets over and all of a sudden, they got nothing to lose and they just start throwing shots up, and but you still got to defend, and I think we got up 22 points there, with a little under 3 minutes to go, and we kind of let them hit 3 threes right in a row and didn't play a whole lot of defense. And a couple of those threes, I thought we had a little bit of pressure on them, and one of them was wide open. But, when the game gets out of hand, that's the time you need to really clamp down, because people get relaxed, game's over, the shots don't mean anything, and that's when you're at your best, is when you don't have that pressure on you. And, that's why if you keep people close, it's a different type of game. The outcome's different because people respond to tighter situations.
Well, I think as being a spectator and a fan, I think we were a little spoiled coming back from Collinsville. But what people have to remember, we're in Central State 8 now, where they've seen Lincoln. They know what Lincoln does. Whereas down in Collinsville, it's a little new to them, and you have to figure it out. So, you just got to keep plugging away and doing what we do. But, as far as effort last night, I thought the effort was there. And, like you said, they kind of slopped some shots in there at the end to make it closer than it really was. But you would also like to see your team finish a 20, 25-point lead just to make a statement.
But we also want to make, be consistent on how you do. You don't want to finish this game and not this one and this one, back and forth. You need to have that killer instinct where you want to put the game away and get it over with. And, we kind of relax when we get up, and, that was the MO of this team a year ago, and that was what we wanted to try to take care of. That was one of our top priorities, was finishing the games. How are we going to finish? And I thought at Collinsville, we never looked back. We looked ahead, and we stayed ahead. We kept pressure on. We done exactly what you need to do. And, the 2 games after, we've kind of gone back to being soft towards the end of the game, and that's where you don't want to be. But you're right. I thought the kids played hard last night. You can't doubt their effort, and but you got to play smarter than what we did.
A lot of it comes back to focus. I know you guys went into that tournament focused. You were going there to win the tournament, and that's what you did, and you looked great in all the games. And then you come back to Central State 8. I mean, a lot of media out there. The kids are on Facebook and all these different things, Twitter. They know what teams' records are. They know what this team has done. They know what last week's team had done. And you just think they have to go in there thinking, we're going to beat these guys. Not that you want them to. They're just kids, though, and they think, we're going to win this game.
You're exactly right. But as a coaching staff, and you know this, you want to play to your top ability, your potential. You want to work as hard as you can, and regardless of who you're playing, we talk about playing ourselves, and back-to-back games, Friday, Saturday. Coaches ask me, would you rather play Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday, where you had some days to prepare for your other opponent? And it doesn't bother me. I'm worried about what we're going to do. We're not going to change how we play. We just have to go through and cover, okay, we played a man-to-man defense tonight. We got to play a zone offense, or zone versus a zone defense. And it's a little bit different. But the preparation throughout the week is you prepare for a zone, you prepare for a man. Our kids are prepared for anything.
Right.
And a good team, will be able to adjust, and teams that play multiple defenses is a team that tries to confuse you. And if your kids are prepared to play against a zone, we have one zone offense. It doesn't, matter whether it's a 1-3-1 or a 1-2-2 or a 2-1-2. We have one offense. Now, we have adjustments to where we want to swing to and where we want to attack the different types, but basically our offense is the same, and the movement is same, and the sets are the same. It doesn't change. So you constantly work on just executing what you do and do it the best that you can.
Well, I thought it was a solid game last night. If a few more shots drop, it may be a little sloppy at the end, but when you look at the kids, I mean, Joey was out front playing hard.
Joey played an outstanding game. He had his hands all over. But if you noticed, and our as coaches, these are the things that we notice. The things that when you bobble the ball, we had a couple back doors that we bobbled. We didn't get to lay it. Mm-hmm. That is a preparation, that the focus that you got to have. That's when you're not prepared to play. The mental side of it, Joey's getting his hands on them. And how many loose balls were there last night that down at Collinsville we came up with? Right. We didn't come up with them last night because we weren't, we were a step slow. And when we play, the competition that we play, majority of the time, it is very much quicker than what we are. And if we're not prepared to react right now, we're 2, 3, 4 steps behind. And those are just the little things that you can tell how your kids are playing. You got to come up with those loose balls. There's certain things. A loose ball we don't dribble out of. A lot of teams will grab it and try to dribble out of a loose ball situation. We pick it up because we're not quick enough to get away, and we're probably going to turn it over. So there's certain things that we have to do to be successful compared to what other teams do.
I thought you got into a little bit of a transition game that we're not into a lot.
But we're trying to do that.
That's what I wondered, if you wanted to, or
no, we're trying to push the ball. We're trying to find easier scores. When you score 40 points a night, you get into a possession game. And last night's a game that you don't want to be in a possession game with. Next Friday, we want to be in a possession game. We don't want to give Lanphier many opportunities. And if you force them to run a half-court offense, that's part of the game plan next week, is you got to make them play half-court offense because they don't like to. If you watch them play, their defense is their structure. It's very similar to Jacksonville. Their defense leads to their offense. They play the 1-2-2 ball press. They drop back to a matchup zone, which creates problems for a lot of teams. You don't see a lot of matchup zones, so the preparation is not, you don't prepare for a matchup zone as much. But again, our offense is designed to attack any type of situation.
Now, it's something that it's apparent to anybody. We can get to the basket anytime we want. Do you tell your kids to get to the paint, get to the rim? Because it seems like sometimes we just want to hang out around that three-point shot and just settle for the three-pointer instead of going to the basket.
Well, we're going to shoot the three.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's hard for us. I think eventually Adam will be able to get down on the block and post and get some scores. But Adam's right now, his 15-foot jump shot, is better with his back to the basket. That's simply because in Lincoln, that's all people do is face up and shoot. But we try to dribble drive, and there's ways that you can score in the paint and transition. When you score in the paint, those are supposed to be easier scores than the three. The dribble drive, which we've done, and last night we went in, we attacked the basket, and Church came after us, and we kicked it out. And when he recovered is when we attacked the basket and scored. I thought Max Cook read those situations really well last night. He knew when to go in because we'd moved Church around, and Church was recovering to, he can't leave Edward Bowlby open. So he's got a responsibility. But Church did play a great game last night, a great shot blocker. We got a lot of shots blocked last night, but our kids kept going right at him, and that's good.
As I say, we talked before. I thought he was a pretty good ball player, not scoring wise, just athleticism, length. Right. The way he gets his arms up, I thought he moved his hands well. It was quicker than what I thought he would be.
Well, being a shot blocker, I think he only had one foul last night, so that's.
Well, he's so long, and he's away from you, and he just reaches up, and he plays well above the rim.
He needed some more height to go with it.
I think he parted his hair on that one dunk on the rim.
I don't know. Offensively, he didn't really do a whole lot, but except for the dunk, and he opened his first possession for Springfield. He hit a jump shot, and that was about it all night. I don't know. You got a big guy like that, you got to give him the ball.
Yeah, I was wondering why he wasn't posted up more.
Well, he hurt us a little bit there in the second half. He went into the middle, and that's where he scored probably more of his points when he was playing in the middle. Because you try to get out, and especially if you've got a successful shooter on the perimeter, because you got to cover him. And we had to cover Nelson. Last night, he was shooting the ball very well, and they're a very young basketball team. I think they had one senior on the roster,
a freshman, and a couple sophomores,
2 or 3 freshmen, and
freshmen.
Church is only a junior, so they're getting better, and if they'll just stay at it, they'll be a team to worry about.
I could hear the coach yelling, get out on Bowlby, get out on Bowlby. Having him, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I'd have him going way out there on Bowlby. Somebody else maybe, but not you.
Well, then when he tries to switch, then we run, the high pick and roll where we try to get exchanges, and you try to get mismatches and things, and
we had several layups down the lane last night, I thought.
Yeah, we scored in the lane. We scored off our defense. They recovered. They transitioned after a turnover back pretty well. I don't know what our scoring was off of turnovers, but I thought Joey was all over the court again. He played his normal game, but you watch him play, and what you see last night is what you see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's how hard he plays in practice, and that's why you'll find that he'll be one of the most consistent players that we have.
Well, we always say it as coaches, practice like you're going to play.
Exactly.
That's right. A lot of basketball coming up. Lincoln 13-0 on the season with last night's victory. A game tonight, Jacksonville coming in, struggling a little bit. They lose to Taylorville last night by 7 or 8, I do believe. Is that correct?
69-61.
69-61. So it's a Jacksonville team struggling, but they come into Lincoln, and they've had some success at Roy S. Anderson. So it's a game that you can't overlook. I know a lot of people are looking for next Friday, which is going to be a huge matchup, but you got a game tonight against a big physical Crimson team.
Yeah, they've got Hance in the middle, 6'7". I think he's probably 2'6". In fact, he's going to Northwestern to play football. He's a tight end, I believe, or defensive end. But he's got really nice, soft hands, and he's got a nice jump shot. They got shooters on the perimeter. Their record is really mind-boggling. I think they've won 4 games. But again, they're another team that's junior oriented, and there's have some young guys out there. But I think over the last 6 years they've come in here and beaten us probably 3 times, and
one of them's a regional championship.
One was a regional championship. They come in here last year and beat us in overtime, which cost us the outright Central State 8 conference, and they're a very, very good basketball team. So. We have to be prepared. Plus, we got to work this morning where we'll spend a lot of time on a matchup zone, reviewing. Then again, we want to try to transition to find some things. They play the 1-2-2 a lot of different ways. They've got different type of personnel. When that personnel gets on the floor, they're going to switch it up a little bit. They'll put up more pressure, less pressure, and it depends. And they've got shooters. They've got some role players that are very good that on a given night can hurt you. And they've still got a Kaufman. They've still got a Peak, which is related to the Kaufmans, and that's a name that not many people forget about.
That's like a Verderber.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that tip-off tonight, the fresh or JV game will start at 5 o'clock. So varsity around 6:30 in that area. So, conference games on Saturday. I like how they do that. They move it up an hour. It's gives you a little more of an evening afterwards, I guess. But yeah, so make sure you're there at 6:30 for the varsity game, 5 o'clock for Jacksonville or the fresh off.
Yeah, and I hate to jump ahead to next Friday, but one of the things, and I don't know what the answer is. They're not selling they're not pre-selling tickets,
right?
So it's going to come on a first come serve basis, and we would like to have our share of people down there. I know people want to go, but we sure don't want to go down there into a a den that's got all orange and black. We want our green and red, and you know, I don't think the doors open till 5:15, but last week we went down and watched Chatham and Lanphier play at Lanphier, and the doors were closed at 6 o'clock. They were sold out then, so people in Springfield are jumping on the wagon with Lanphier, and you know, I think it's hopefully we're going to be a marquee game next week, and both of us have tough games tonight. They got to play a Christian Brothers out of St. Louis tonight down in a shootout in Highland and so forth. So
it would be nice if they can move that to the convention center or something, because you're going to have fans there that aren't even rooting for Lincoln or Lanphier. They just want to see the
Sure.
matchup. So that's taking away room for the true Lincoln fans. So
yeah, and even, you know, we went down to the game, and you know, they said they had a sellout, and you know, if you got a sellout, you pack them in there. And you know, we were sitting there, and there were 4, 5, 6 seats right around us that were open, and they shut the doors out there by looks, I guess. But you want to pack people in that place, and I know the fire marshal's probably standing there counting and everything, but you know, there's a limit there, and you know, people are spread out and they want to be comfortable, where we don't want anybody comfortable next Friday
No,
night.
sweaty mess up in those
I wasn't
stands.
sweaty. I was just sweating, just like the guys.
We know that out here.
yeah. I was actually chilly last night. I almost put my coat on. It was a little cold in that gym. Not used to that.
You're so thin.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
what helps.
I'm thinning. Coach, thanks for coming in. Would like to remind people tomorrow morning starting at 7:30 at the Knights of Columbus, your pancake and sausage fundraiser. Tell us a little bit about that, and you know, who's going to be there, and you know, what to expect.
Well, I believe it starts at 7:30, and I know in our tickets it said 12:30, the serving, and I think that was kind of a oversight on our part. I think the people out at the KC Hall, they go to 11:30, and you know, we appreciate their help and support along with this, and you know, it's you know, to 11:30. You know, we will be there a little bit after, but all the kids are going to be there, so you'll have a chance, an opportunity to sit and talk with them, or you know, they'll be waiting and serving and helping, and you know, all of them will be there. So we'd like to have your support. It helps out our kids on different things, and hopefully, you know, we're going to need some help down the line here as far as travel and so forth as the year goes on.
Those rooms are expensive over there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Over where?
I hope.
At that state tournament.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, nothing's too expensive. I'd pay.
Well, you know, it's, you know, this team here, I truly believe on a given night could beat anyone, but I also know we can get beat by anyone. And then we got a rough road, you know, down in the postseason. You know, we've already got our the assignments for the regional and who's there, and Normal U-High is in our regional. The good thing, it's at Lincoln High School. The bad thing is the last 6 regionals at Lincoln High School, we've lost 3 of them. So it is good to be playing on our home court, but you know, the success and the different mind preparation is a little bit different. So, you know, we're going to have to really, you know, be focused, and that's our goal. That's our ultimate goal, is how far we're going to advance in the state tournament. And you know, yes, we want to win the conference, we want to do these other things, but you know, we've won 2 tournaments already, and those tournaments teach you how to win tournaments. And if anything came out of Collinsville, those kids knew how to win down there. You'll never, you know, we've got one more day where we have to play 2 games in one day, and that there is hard the way we play, and not everybody plays hard, but a lot of teams just go back and play in a half-court defense. Sure. But you know, we play our 3-quarter, we pressure. I mean, we're constantly moving defensively, and playing 2 games in one day for our kids is a challenge. So we've got one more day of that, and that's over at Jacksonville a week from Saturday, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from Saturday tonight, that we'll be playing in another tournament, and hopefully it'll be another championship.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for coming in. Good luck tonight against the Crimson of Jacksonville, and we won't see you on this show until next Saturday, so good luck next Friday. That's a big game, number 1 and number
you plan to be here a little longer
3
on that day.
ranking in the state of Illinois.
Well, We hope so, and if we could come out and play well tonight, you never know what could happen between now and next week. It could change, and teams could drop from where they're at right now. The rankings come out, I believe, every week now, so it could change every Tuesday, and but our kids have got to be focused and take care of business. The problem in the rankings is everybody looks at the scores, and we're a team and a program that, by general, we don't blow people out. We don't win by 30.
But you have.
We have, but people look at the scores and, the way we play, and it's a ball control offense. People think our defense is really, we do play defense, but the defenses are all controlled by offense. If you run down and shoot the ball on the first pass, there's going to be more possessions. There's going to be more points. And, if we're hitting and shooting the basketball, that's what we want to do.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch back up with you next Saturday, and good luck tonight. We're going to take a commercial timeout. We'll be back. We'll have Jake, the furniture guy, Johnston, back in with us since we are in his facilities. So you want to find some nice furniture, a nice sectional. This will look good in your living room, Coach. Nice and comfy here.
Yeah, whenever we had floor space.
All right, we'll take a commercial
That's what all the
timeout.
Alexander boys.
Yep. So stay tuned. You're in the cheap seats. 96.3 WLCNonline.com.
It's got to be Jake's pick.
It's not me.
Good morning, sports fans of Lincoln and Logan County. You're in the cheap seats on 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com.
And we're back.
And we are back. Before we get going, guys, we've got to wish the Lincoln Railer girls basketball team a big congratulations. They beat Southeast Spartans this past couple of days, Thursday night. That's a big win for the Lady
Absolutely.
Railers. So it looks like
Coach Richmond's got them turned around out there.
It's like in Southeast, they're usually pretty solid team. So
Some good young players coming up through the ranks as well. So
Maybe we'll get her on one of these mornings.
Yes, absolutely. Also, I'd like to congratulate Hall of Fame inductees Greg Maddox, Tom Glavin, and Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
how fitting is it that Maddox and Glavin going in with Bobby Cox?
Right, and if they're listening right now, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Give us a call.
There's no reason they shouldn't be listening because we're streaming live worldwide. So, guys, if you're listening, congratulations. You can mention the cheap seats in your induction speech. That'd be pretty cool. So, the Big Hurt.
He's reaching.
Yeah, and I feel
His mom told him he was good at this.
That's exactly right.
And Craig Biggio
Missed
missed it by 2 votes. Are you guys listening? Come on, I'm talking important stuff here.
You're actually talking baseball, so I should be talking.
You should be. This
so.
is your sport, and we're not talking about any Cardinals. We're talking about a past Cub and a White Sox.
A past Cub.
Yeah.
There's actually
What's that called?
There's actually Cub fans thinking he's going in as a Cub.
No way.
I mean,
that's funny.
I laughed in their faces.
Yeah,
right before
That's not
before
nice.
I opened hand and slapped him.
Yeah, well that's just common sense there.
I mean, he won 3 Cy Youngs with the Braves.
Right.
Won 20 games, I think 3 or 4 times with the Braves.
Cubs didn't need him.
No. Well, who would
They
need
couldn't
that
use him.
guy? Who would need a guy called the Professor?
Yeah. But congratulations. I was kind of disappointed that Biggio didn't get in because I just love the way that kid played.
Yeah,
He
and
missed it by 2
being a
votes.
Gold Glover at both catcher and second base
and
at both of his positions.
good leadoff hitter, solid.
Yeah, and at his positions that he played, he was a top 3 player at both those positions his entire career.
He's going to
So-
get in. Obviously, he's
Yeah, I was
not
gonna say
a
he'll probably
first
get in.
ballot. He'll get in next go around.
There's any more. Well, and actually, there was a long run. Being a historian of baseball, there was a long run where there wasn't any first ballots.
right.
You did not get in on the first ballot.
Sure.
And nowadays there are people crying about, oh, he didn't get in. Calm down. This isn't the best Hall of Fame in all the sports.
Right.
It is by far better than anything else. Basketball's a joke. Football's somewhat of a joke when it comes to the Hall of Fame, though.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, and you look at baseball, they have a criteria, and good, bad, or indifferent. There's a reason that the best of the best is in there, and the guys that are kind of on the cusp aren't. You know, they may be good all-stars, but they're not Hall of Famers.
So in or out, Rose?
For his play, and
That's
because he cheated, out.
Well,
he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
That's another thing you're seeing right now. The numbers as far as votes for players that were affiliated with the steroids, like Clemens, and all their Hall of Fame votes are starting to dwindle.
They're dwindling quick.
So a lot of people say, well, they need to be in there, but let's put an asterisk beside it.
No, I disagree. I think their numbers need to be in there. Much like Roger Maris's 61, I think that needs to be in there, and I think Bonds and Roger Clemens' numbers need to be in there. I do not believe they need to be in there. Okay. And same thing with Pete Rose. It says on the outside of that dugout. I've been to a major league ballpark, went into the locker room. Before you go in the locker room, it does say on there, you cannot gamble in the game of baseball.
Right.
And I mean, it's prohibited, and it's always been. The steroid thing is kind of a touchy situation because that was kind of a don't ask, don't tell. But at the same time, now that it's all out there,
right?
If you're guilty, you're not in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
And I'm a McGuire fan, so you know.
Give us your outlook or your view on how the Hall of Fame is voted in, because there's just I can't think of the guy's name now.
Yeah.
A sports writer. He didn't sell. He didn't get anything from this. He gave his ballot to Deadspin, who in turn put it out there for the public to vote on.
Yeah.
And now he is barred or banned from voting for the Hall of Fame for life.
I think they should make the voting public, for writers that want their vote to be public.
Well,
but
for a writer,
for a writer, actually, I mean, there's a few things. I think there's too many of the old school guys that aren't looking enough at the analytics to. They should be kind of weeded out, and I think they should be bringing some of these younger analytical guys in that's paying attention to the numbers a lot harder than what they used to, just to get you get a fresh view. Plus, it keeps the people more, I guess, of our generation, as opposed to a couple steps beyond us, a little more interested in the Hall of Fame voting even. So I don't know. I got a couple different views on it. I like the old school. I like old school baseball.
Right.
So I like the idea of a lot of the traditional things, but at the same time, you still have to get you have to start getting these new guys in, as opposed to being.
Well, that's
you have to be a part of the Writers Association for 10 years.
Yeah, and it's a different era now. It's not. They don't play old school baseball. No. It's all about the numbers now. The more runs you score, the more fans you're going to get.
Yeah, it's more about OBS as opposed to batting average.
And nobody wants to go to a baseball game and see 1-0. They want to see the 10-8 or the 15.
I'm going to say the mass of people don't. There is people.
There are people that
Phillies
do.
Against the Cardinals, Carpenter against Doc Halladay a couple years ago. I'm bringing this up in front of one of the biggest Philly fans I know. It was one of the best ball games I can remember.
But that's for a baseball enthusiast,
correct?
A fan, not just a typical
everyday person that wants to go watch a ball game.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right.
All right,
you guys settled that.
We did.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a good little discussion right there. Where'd that come from? If that doesn't warm you up, listeners, a little baseball talk, nothing will, because baseball is right around the corner.
About 2.5 weeks away.
Is it 2.5?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's closer than I thought. So, I mean, I got nothing to look forward to. It's,
What do you mean? You guys could win the World Series for the first day or two.
Yeah.
We'll bring our gloves in a few weeks and we'll play hot box. You can get in the middle.
Right. Who's going to sign the Japanese fellow?
He's
in the United States right now. Just got here a couple days ago. Starting to meet with some of the top teams, the Cubs, the White Sox. I don't think the White Sox have any chance, but the Yankees.
I think
Red Sox, Rangers.
I think the Yankees are very interested. I think the Rangers are moderately, they're kind of on the cusp. The Dodgers are very interested. The Cubs are going to push really hard for him, but my dark horse would be the Atlanta Braves.
I think so.
I think the Cubs should go get him.
I think the Braves took a step back, and they know they did it in their pitching staff, and they have not really made any moves this offseason. Their payrolls actually went down a little bit, not a huge amount, but enough they could pay that posting fee and pick up a player, not worry about losing a draft pick, which is one of their biggest concerns, is they do not want to lose draft picks. And that's the main thing with signing these free agents. You sign one of them, you're going to lose one of your top picks. You don't want to do that nowadays. They're too valuable.
All right. Well, as always, we'd like to send out a special thanks to the beautiful Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel on Lincoln's west side for providing the fresh coffee, which is gone.
Yeah, I want to comment on that.
Did you fill that up here? Because that's way too big of a cup.
Whoa.
If you're going to bring
That's
that, you got to
from
fill
home.
that at
I
home.
missed the
from
first
home.
quarter of the show, and I come back and the coffee's gone.
I brought this from
Look,
home.
that's a gallon right there.
1 gallon.
Okay.
It's all
Well, we
homemade
would
right
like
there.
to thank the Hampton Inn for providing
Because
fresh
they won't listen to
coffee
you guys whine about it.
and pastries. Call the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel at 732-6729 and enjoy all the amenities, including a free hot breakfast.
Yeah,
It's a
and
great
coffee.
place out there.
And coffee.
Nice and
coffee.
clean.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
Hey, we'll time you. Go fill that back up out
Go
there.
put it back up. Let's see.
I don't even know how to make
fast
coffee.
All right, let's take another commercial timeout. Hear from our fine sponsors for our Cheap Seats show. Without them, we wouldn't be able to
Say
sit
that
here
fast.
and look
Wow,
like a
please don't say
a
that
couple
fast. We're going to get
buffoons.
banned from the air.
Yes.
What's in that coffee?
I don't know, but it's good. All right, stay tuned. You're in Cheap Seats 96.3 WLCNonline.com.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think we're all off to it.
Where does he come up with this stuff?
I know,
Yeah.
that's a good one there.
That's quality.
What?
We might just want to go right back through that one again. Thanks again, Jim.
All right, we had to let that go. Good morning, sports
horrible.
fans. You're in the ever so popular Cheap Seats, where there's a never dull moment with
Never a dull moment.
the Three Stooges here. Well, Two Stooges. I
Yeah.
shouldn't include myself.
I don't know. That last
You're the only one in
break-
shorts.
Yeah, that last
Hey,
break.
it's a
he's
heat
trying-
wave.
It is a heat wave.
It is a heat wave.
Good night.
You know,
You
anything.
didn't wear shorts, though.
I don't know.
Wrong color, white.
Well, I do have socks on. I know I might need a little tan, but you know,
Look like surgical stockings.
He's going in for a spray tan later.
I need. Yeah.
I've seen him out there doing it.
Yeah.
Out of Vanessa's.
Yes, it's quick and simple. You just gotta watch the shade. You know, you get too dark, you
Just stop.
turn orange.
And we're back to football.
We are back. Let's talk some. Let's start off. We've got to get this fancy football thing squared away.
All right.
Our fancy WLCN Fantasy Football Challenge, the first annual, big success. Came down to the wire. I know your buddy's a little disappointed.
Oh, yeah. He made a mistake and he
Boy,
paid for it.
how do you go 12-1 and he had a tie? 1 loss all season.
He made a pick that wasn't the right pick.
Right.
He went with Rivers instead of Kaepernick. Kaepernick would have got him 30 points. He would have been in the Super Bowl or the final game.
Yeah.
He went with Rivers and he got him 3 points.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was 6 points away from moving on.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of fantasy football.
Yep.
You can dominate all year, but once the playoffs start, it's 0-0, and anything can happen.
His biggest thing was he went into the year knowing how the league was set up. He had to have Colin Kaepernick, and then he didn't play him. He says, "I'm the biggest bonehead." He says, "I deserve to lose that."
You got
Well,
to dance
so-
with
in
you
his
brought-
That's
defense-
exactly what those were his exact words.
In his defense, Phillip Rivers, he's had a solid season. He's been
Solid end to
yeah,
the season at
and
least.
he's been putting up some numbers. So that's
Yeah.
not that bad of a pick.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out in the end.
No, that's
He
correct.
probably made it based on who they were playing, too.
Which,
so-
and
which I don't know that. But
to be honest with this get together we're having coming up, I think we all missed out by him not winning because he had this plan of showing up in the Ric Flair row with the championship belt around his waist. So
He can
I
wear
think
it
we all
anyway.
kinda
Yeah,
did.
he can wear. I mean,
that's what I told him. I said he won
he
the
still
league.
won.
He's like, no, I can't do it. He's like, because I'm not the champion right now.
Yeah,
It's like,
well,
oh, all right.
speaking of
All right.
champion, and that title goes to Team Taylor's dad, Jackson Sisk. He's got his choice between a 37-inch TV from P&M Communications, and he can come out here, and the runner-up can come out here and pick anything he wants. Is that the deal?
Anything? Yeah, absolutely.
Anything?
I mean,
Well, this huge
Anything on that table.
as long as it's a curio cabinet or no.
Well, your buddy, he's going to take that honor. He's going to get whatever Jackson Sisk doesn't take. 37-inch TV. That's pretty
Pretty
good.
nice.
Yeah, pretty nice.
You know, it's going to be
deal.
like a Toshiba or a Samsung.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
going to be something nice.
Yeah.
That's all P&M
Yeah.
Communications
And
has.
it's top of line stuff.
They don't
there.
have this
And-
knockdown
Right.
junk like
And I
Walmart has.
gotta, we have to.
throwing out
Yeah. And we would like to thank P&M Communications as well as Jake at Jake's Furnishings and Sean out at Logan Lane's
Yeah.
Family Fun Center for sponsoring this.
And who else we got in there? Somebody else donating some stuff too, weren't they?
I don't think so.
Did we get? Well, we got pizzas and that
Oh,
kind of stuff.
Stufferia gave pizzas away for the
Yeah.
winner each week. Yeah, good
So-
call there. And I thought overall success was great. I have to do a better job of figuring out, because we were trying to put the final on the website, and I would send it to Jeff Geoff. For some reason, sometimes it would go through and it wouldn't, but I need to figure something out to where if a listener wanted to get online and look, they could go straight there, but you have to sign up for an ESPN account. So maybe we'll look for a different program if we're lucky enough to do this next year. But what's your guys' look on it? I mean, you've been doing fantasy football. You won the one we're in.
Because I'm talented.
Well, I don't think you did. Your sidekick did it all. I think
His wife.
he just fronted the
I got to
money.
give Cole Rainforth a lot of credit
Yeah.
for that. He's a general manager
So-
for me. I pay him well, though.
Yeah.
But for a fantasy league to free to enter, and for prizes like that, I mean, that's
Pretty
second
awesome.
to none. I mean, that's a no-brainer, and I think it was a big success.
What's better than free?
Nope.
See, that was
Nothing.
a silencer.
There you go. I was trying to think of something, but I'm not that witty, so
No, you're not good.
Oh, you are.
not at all. So yeah, I'd like to thank the players for getting in. We had a whole range of people doing it. A couple of ladies partook this year. I don't think they really knew what they were getting into when we said fantasy football. So I'm hoping they had a good time with it.
What were you thinking?
Where were you going with
I
that?
mean, yeah, you think they thought they were going to get dates out of it or something?
Well, no, I
Hey,
don't-
this is a
NFL
daytime
players?
show.
I
I
don't
mean,
think they knew that
Maybe
it was.
that's what he thought. He thought they were
yeah.
thinking soap opera or something.
We're not on Sirius Radio.
That's true, but I don't think they knew
Yet.
that they had to turn a lineup in each week. I thought it
right.
was just pick your team and be done with it. But
Well,
there's
that's
more
better
to
for the other players, huh?
that did work out well for a few people. I think.
I think they were setting it up. Well, when do I play her? When do I play her? That's a win. That's a win. But that's how it goes. So congratulations to We Touchdown there for the league winner, and Team Taylor's dad, Jackson Sisk, for the Super Bowl winner.
Nice.
Nice. All
Good
right.
year.
Nice job.
Yes.
Let's
All
talk NFL playoff games.
We got to talk NFL. Some big games going on today, tomorrow. Indianapolis at New England.
What a game last week by Andrew.
All of them.
Andrew Luck. Yeah,
all
all of them.
great
But
NFL games.
That
The comeback.
Indianapolis against Kansas City.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
game was over with.
That game, you could have wrote that off, and I kept telling my buddy, I'm like, just watch for
Right.
a few more minutes. Touchdown,
Yeah.
touchdown, defensive stop, touchdown. What the hell? This is great,
And a great year by the Chiefs.
A
And then
great year by the Chiefs, and just dropped it there.
44 to 45.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
now
lot
the
of
points.
can they win today?
Who, Indy?
Is that tomorrow?
No,
That's tomorrow.
that's
That
tomorrow.
is tomorrow, I believe.
Indy at New England. Yeah, Indy can win.
You know,
With New England not having all their people available, you can't count Indianapolis out when New England doesn't have everybody.
that's
And
true.
Indianapolis, they just signed, I think is a pretty good signing, Deion Branch.
Yeah,
Sure.
They just signed him. I mean, he's been with New England. He's been in that playoff atmosphere. He's been successful. Now, what kind of shape? Is he going to be ready? Don't know. But
probably.
I mean, he
probably
can-
not. But at
he
the
can-
same time, maybe
they'll
you
have
can
some
get
plays
something
in,
out of
right.
it for him. Yeah,
I'm sure they'll have a set of plays for him.
and right now
particularly.
with even with him being a little bit older, he's their probably number 2 wide receiver
behind
right now.
T.Y. Hilton, which
Yeah.
And you got Tom Brady on the other side, though.
Right.
The surgeon. He will
Who-
cut you up.
That's exactly right.
That's gonna be a good-
And it's
yeah.
at New England,
He can make
so-
me look like a good receiver. Oh, now wait a minute. Don't. Hey,
now
let's
you're,
not get
you're
silent.
going
It
over
just
the
go-
line a little bit.
It'll just go cold
I'm
there.
telling you, he'd throw the ball so hard at me it would stick in my pads, stick in my face mask.
Stick in your ribs.
But it would hit me somehow. I would catch it. Pretty soon I'm on ESPN. Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun. Another good game. I mean, there's good games throughout. San Diego, Denver. We'll stick with the AFC.
That's
here.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 3.
I don't think that's going to be.
So here's
the
the
thing, Denver.
Although this will be the third time they're playing, you never want to play a team 3 times.
Here's a little stat I'll throw out there.
Throw it.
For the past 4 years in a row, whoever Philadelphia played in their home opener went on to win the Super Bowl, which is an amazing stat.
Hmm.
And
So
guess who
what-
that was? San Diego. Think they're on a mission?
I think they could be on whatever mission they want. I don't think they stand a chance in this game.
I don't either. I think
they already beat Denver once. I believe that was at Denver.
At Denver,
Yeah.
and it was a beatdown.
It wasn't good, and I think Denver's got a lot of game film on that, and that's very fresh
What
in
a
their
great
mind.
atmosphere
so.
to-
Denver,
football
they
game,
they
too.
just they're the Lincoln Railers of football. They got too many weapons.
They're
That's a
pretty
good
loaded.
transition.
Yeah, you know what that
Pretty loaded.
And that's hard. Go back to kind of just fantasy football. I don't know if I would ever take another fantasy player as far as a receiver from Denver because it's so spread out.
It's so spread out.
I mean,
yeah.
you got Welker,
every week.
Denarius Thomas.
Could he make you a good receiver,
No,
Manning?
I couldn't
Still?
catch. I couldn't catch.
You couldn't
a
get
cold.
off the line, could you?
No, I
That's
could.
all right.
He'd be a good blocking tight end.
One good
Maybe a fullback.
check at the line. I'm done. You know, I'm off my route.
You better get that hand up, Archie.
I
You need
quit.
out.
Sub. Pull my jersey here.
Is he won the ball thrown to him? No way.
Oh, Manning's laughing.
He's waving.
I just
him
threw him
off,
once so
but-
we could get him off the field.
That's exactly.
All right, back to subject here. Let's transfer over the NFC. San Francisco, Carolina.
That's a great game, I
It
think.
is.
Yeah, I think that'll be a better game than I thought. San Francisco was going to roll on Green Bay, and it was actually a really good game.
You know, to talk about that game, how good, was the Packer quarterback that day?
Oh well,
I mean,
if he would have been healthy,
I'll tell you what, Rodgers, he kept them in that ball game.
Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
And if not, he may be the best. If he's healthy, he may be the best
And
quarterback.
I
in the
would
league.
love to be a fan of his, but I can't.
Yeah,
You can't be, but you have to give him his.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you
I
what.
like him a lot better than Brett Favre. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Oh,
He's
now,
not
wait a
that.
minute.
He's not that flashy quarterback.
Well, he's doing discount double checks.
Well, State Farm. Just
yeah,
because
but he's doing it with the with
he's
the
doing it
super
with
fans
State
now
Farm.
too.
If it was for Country Financial,
He's a little
you'd
bit.
like him.
He's a little bit arrogant, but he is good.
Well, he better be arrogant. He's an NFL quarterback.
Well, you guys are on Favre about it.
No, I just didn't like
Favre's a legend. I think I did it. Oh, he did it all. And I'm not.
him and that
Packer fan,
athletic
part-time Packer
trainer
fan.
from the Jets.
Well,
Yeah,
okay, so we've got some things that shouldn't have happened.
he's athletic, all right.
Again, being arrogant.
We got the
to be a
governor of New
quarterback,
York
you gotta
shutting down
be.
highways because he's mad, but he doesn't know anything about
That
it.
was New Jersey.
New
That's
Jersey,
okay.
yeah.
That's all right.
So who's going to win? San Francisco, Carolina.
I'll go San Fran again, even
I
on
think
the road.
San Fran has too many weapons, but I got to tell you, I can't root for Kaepernick. He's driven me nuts. You know what? I'm saying the Panthers.
You're
They get
saying
it
the
at home.
Panthers. I'm going to
Yeah.
say. I'm going to say San Fran.
Well,
That's
the
the
reason
easy pick.
I'm saying San Fran because they remind me a little bit of the Giants. The last couple times they won the Super Bowl, they go on the road. They're on the road the whole time, and all of a sudden they got a Super Bowl.
And I'll tell you
trophy
what,
in
they
the
were
air.
there last year and got denied, and they have everybody back. They are a strong team.
They are
They've
strong.
got all the receivers. They have a great defense.
Crabtree
Kaepernick
back.
makes things happen.
And Kaepernick started to play again like he did at the
Right.
end. Well, most
well,
of last year. Really.
I'm gonna tell you
But-
what, you can't. What about if you go back to that game last week? That they rushed on the final plays of the game. They rushed that corner on an outside blitz, and he steps down inside and lets Kaepernick go outside for 30, 40
Yep.
yards. That's the game, and
Yep.
that's what he can do for you. You know, you didn't have that when Kurt Warner was playing for the Cardinals. You know, if they missed that play, Kurt Warner stumbled forward for 4 yards and fell down. But if he
or
threw
laid
it,
down,
it was
yeah.
good. Yeah, I mean,
that's exactly right.
But Kaepernick gives you so much stuff. That's why they're hard to beat. They could win it all.
Well,
They could win it
let's
all.
move on to another good, solid game. New Orleans, Seattle.
in Seattle.
In Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
tough to play there,
And
but a lot of
the
people are
weather
saying
looks
Seattle
bad
hit
there.
their peak about a month ago.
The weather looks bad in Seattle too, and at home. I'm going to stick with Seattle on
You're
that
going to
one.
say Marshawn Lynch is going to be in beast mode?
I'm going to say that defense will be in beast mode, and it won't take a whole lot from Marshawn Lynch.
Okay, well, I like New Orleans. I love Drew Brees.
I do too.
He's probably my favorite quarterback in the league.
You can't dislike a
But
former Big Ten star.
right,
Yeah, I love Breeze.
I do. I know he's just. I don't know. I like him.
But you know what? Russell gives you just what Kaepernick gives you. You know, when
He can
when
move,
things
he can
go
run.
wrong, he can pick
He
things
can-
up, make things happen.
Percy Harvin, is he going to be a factor? Says he's
I don't-
playing.
The way the weather sounds out there, I don't believe the throwing game is going to be a real good way to go. Winds are going to. They're saying winds are going to be howling, and it's going to be extremely wet.
Why wouldn't you build a dome in Seattle?
Because football is supposed to be played outside.
Because
that's
football
why.
is supposed to be played outside in cold weather.
But
That's
not
the
in
rule.
Seattle.
That's the rule.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
The Kingdom. Didn't they
Yeah,
demolish that?
remember how boring it was in the Kingdom?
Oh, bad.
You didn't even want to watch a game.
I think
Well,
McGuire
that's 'cause they were
hit a home
horrible.
run off the upper tank there.
He
That's
was
still
juiced.
going. Oh, yeah, but man, that ball's
we're
Hit it
not
off
going
Randy
back. We've already
Johnson.
talked baseball. We're still
Well, that's
football.
my only.
We're
That's
just
my
sporadic.
only dome memory of that place. You know, I don't remember anything else ever happening there.
Oh, it was boring.
Oh, it's
it's
horrible.
outside. That place where they play now is not boring.
No, that
No,
place.
that atmosphere is phenomenal. Didn't they break a record for like decibels or something?
Yes. However, that's measured. I like the fancy things they put on TV and say this is how they're doing that. And I'm like, oh,
Really?
I know
Okay.
how that works.
Did
but all right.
anybody
It just sounds
watch
loud.
the over under in the bare chested gentleman and the Green Bay game?
No, I haven't. What was it? 5? Did we say the over/under was 5?
Over under was 5. I had reports of at least 4 people that were videoed on there.
Well, there had to
So,
be more.
Yeah, you guarantee there was
Yeah.
more than that.
Well,
So
Yeah.
And they hung around. Great games in the NFL, though.
Yeah. Well, let's real
great
quick.
run.
We got
a great run even with college football last week.
That's what I was going to touch on. We got a
sure.
couple minutes left here. Let's talk about the national championship. Auburn, Florida State. Started off all for Auburn.
Yeah.
Florida State came out and looked like they haven't played football for 6 weeks.
Yep.
And kind of a little rusty. The freshman, from what we hear after the game, was kicked out of practice the day before because he wasn't focused enough. And he came out first half not looking real good, but a good player is able to bounce back and finish a game strong, and that's exactly what Florida State did.
Now, you think about the pressure on that kid to,
Win a Heisman and then you're in the
Go in there and
national
do that.
championship.
And he's the first freshman Heisman winner to do so. Is that
to
correct?
win the
to win
national championship.
a
also.
national
He's
championship.
a red shirt, yeah.
So,
As a starter, yeah.
But throughout the whole, bowl games, every game was
A lot of good
just
games.
phenomenal. But now that's changing next year. BCS is no longer going to a 4-team playoff. That could
so
get
Oklahoma would be playing Florida State right now.
interesting. You'd be taking 1, 4, 2, 3 winners.
I think it'll
advance.
be fun. It's going
It
to give
will.
us
I
a
think that could be
true,
interesting.
more of
Now,
a true champion.
see how
'Cause
this goes.
I mean, if you were Florida State and you had to move on to play Oklahoma this year,
That's
that's a pretty scary proposition right
they
there.
Put a smack down on Alabama.
Well, they kept rolling right with them, so pretty interesting game there. That was a fun game to watch too.
Yeah.
Man. That may have been even better
let's
than the
talk,
Florida State
and let's
game.
talk about Johnny a minute.
Johnny?
Oh,
Is he a
Johnny
top 5
football.
pick?
No.
Oh,
Johnny's
boy,
not a
I'm
top
telling
5.
you right
You think
now.
he is?
I don't know about top 5. He's going to be a stud in the NFL.
Really?
He's going to be a stud.
That's funny.
You think?
I really do.
Compare
I-
compare him to.
What is he? Is he 6'2"?
Yeah, probably right around there.
6'2".
6'1", 6'2".
Would you take him or RG3?
I would take him.
Really?
Yeah.
He makes things happen.
Much better passer.
Okay.
Much better passer. In a scheme from college, it was based around his passing, and he even made it more about his passing this year than he had previously. In his Heisman year, he made it more about passing this year than running, just to prove to people that he could. RG3
So-
was more of a runner.
So you think he's a top 5?
Well, I think he might get a top. You know what?
Top 5 quarterback or top 5 pick?
Top 5 pick.
Top 5
Well,
pick.
obviously he's a top 5 quarterback.
There's a lot
There's-
of good players. There may not be a quarterback drafted in
Until-
top.
right.
Well,
Your-
yeah, there
your
will-
top-
what
your
about
top
two?
10
from Louisville.
Your top 10 picks could be all
Teddy.
defense.
That's what I'm saying. This year's draft is so deep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a top 15 pick, you've got a starter that's going to be good.
You're going to get
I mean, as long as you draft properly,
Right.
there's going to be I'm going to say there's going to be 20 guys in the first round that will be starters next year and that will be very good players as a starter, not these first round picks that are duds, So, I mean, there's that many good players
So
out
who's
there.
our first pick in the draft? Jacksonville.
Jacksonville,
Jacksonville. Where
yeah. Jacksonville followed by St. Louis.
Wow.
We could use a quarterback. St.
Who?
Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd go quarterback though.
They may not, but
But they don't want to go defense.
They may trade down. You might see a lot of trading down to get more picks.
St. Louis trade down with RG3.
I think it's
and
gonna come
boy,
down
they
to the
did
combo.
good on
Yeah,
that.
but St. Louis,
he's got to do well.
St. Louis, they need a running back. They need an offense. Their
If-
defense is
I
pretty
don't know.
solid.
We need a
Real
running
quick,
back.
if you don't think Johnny Football will grade out of this world at the combine.
Well, that's what
You're
I mean.
insane.
At the combine, it's going to come down to those grades, and I think he's going to get a top 5.
Okay.
That's
he does.
Yeah,
He does have the athleticism, but you take his off the field baggage with
They
you.
don't care.
They don't care as long as
That's
you
been
can.
proven.
Some
time and time
people,
again.
some
Exactly
people
right.
do care.
No.
There's very few.
No
teams.
one
Not
cared
about
about
a
Hernandez.
quarterback.
You know what? They knew about Hernandez before he ever
That's
came to the
exactly
Patriots,
right.
and they didn't care. They overlooked him.
Well, guys, we're
about
out of
W's.
time, unfortunately, because we could be here. We could talk till noon easily.
Boy, he
on
looked good in the
football.
Rams uniform too.
Yeah.
Johnny Football.
Johnny May, he may go there.
We'll
He's
see.
going to put fans in the stands, and that's all they want.
When is the draft? April, mid-April.
12th or
So we still got a little ways, but combine will be starting up.
Maybe
here.
we'll just have a live draft on here, like a telethon.
Or let's go there.
Let's go.
You know what? Let's talk to the managers.
Can we get
talk to Jim
tickets
about
for that and everything?
getting us out there.
Let's do it. Jim
First
said-
of all, let's
Jim
start.
said
Jim's
there
on
you
board.
go.
Jim's on board.
Let's start with going to the combine.
Let's get us sponsored by the Hampton Inn.
The combine's in Indianapolis. That's easy.
You get a free hotel room.
The Hampton Inn can put us up in
Hampton Inn.
Indy.
Yep.
There we go. We're going to the combine,
do it.
fellas.
Yeah.
I like this.
All right, guys. Hey, listeners, be sure to check us out on Comcast Channel 5 in Lincoln and Mount Pulaski for film coverage of LCHS football and basketball games, including the Collinsville Holiday Tournament, which you're not going to have sound for one half because the cameraman messed up.
Can we have his last name?
No, we can't. Well, along with the Main Street Lincoln Christmas Parade, the Lincoln Park District Breakfast with Santa, and other shows including Viewpoint, and of course the Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston featuring Joe Ryan Cheap Seats live Saturday morning sports show. Featuring. Brought to you by WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Well, fellas, it's been a great day, and it's been a lot of sports going on, and a lot of talk about.
Didn't touch on
we
NBA,
didn't
touch on
we didn't even
NCAA
put a dent in
basketball.
it, so we'll continue.
Oh, that's all to come.
Yeah.
That's right around
We'll
the
get
corner.
into the heart of that.
We'll continue our top-notch
Illinois
broadcasting
against Wisconsin
next Saturday. Next Saturday, join us at Blow No Smoke, located across from RP Lumber in Lincoln.
Yeah,
always a good time there. Joe, you be there?
Absolutely.
Because you are featured.
You
all
will
right.
be featured.
Thanks for tuning in. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com, streaming live 24/7. So check us out.
Good day.